thought I was dying a minute ago. My house is messy, but
No,
don't
it's
judge me.
not.
It is. Look at it. It's like it's super messy. But you know what? I don't care. I don't even care. It's not like anybody watches these videos but me anyway. My house is messy right now. Deal with it. I thought I was dying a minute ago, like legitimately. Like I've had heartburn before, but I've never had heartburn so bad. I I have asthma, like more like induced asthma, like if I'm like working out or which is rare, or like
Oh,
if I'm like working out or like running or something like that, my asthma kind of start up. But and I have like a couple of inhalers, like just in case I need them, and I never really need them very often. But when I do need them, it's pretty serious. Like, okay, my chest is tight. I can't breathe. I need my inhaler. And I felt like some weird stuff going on in my chest. So naturally, I thought that I needed my inhaler. And I took my inhaler like 6 times. And it wasn't doing anything. And my heart was racing. And I didn't know what was going on. Now, full disclosure, I've been drinking. But,
she been drinking.
But I've been drinking for a couple of weeks now. Not like nonstop, but I'm not a big like alcohol fan. It's not really my thing, but I have been lately. And I had some tonight, and suddenly like my whole, and I've had heartburn before, and it's usually like right in the middle. You'll get like, oh, I've got a little bit of heartburn, but like tonight it was like my whole entire chest was like on fire, and I could breathe, but it wasn't like as smooth as it should be. And my heart was racing, and naturally I freaked out, like I didn't know what it was. So I took my inhaler like 6 times, and I was like worried and concerned, and my wonderful husband brought me in the room, and I tried to lay down, but it made it worse. And he did a little bit of research, and he decided that it was heartburn, so he gave me some Pepno, and it was disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. It just tastes nasty to me. I don't know. But I guess it did the trick because I feel better. I'm not 100%, but I'm much better than I was about 10 minutes ago. So that's good. But I've never had heartburn that bad before. Assuming it was heartburn, I'm going to assume that's what it was. I've never had it that intense before. And maybe it was more intense because I had been drinking. Maybe I had a little bit more than I should have had. Maybe it was because I was drinking it a little bit faster than I usually would. And it's not like I was just drinking straight vodka or anything. It was like, a mix. I had it mixed in with something, and I had a couple of glasses, but I wasn't downing it like nonstop, but my sips were a lot more frequent than I usually. Maybe I am just a weak little pussy. I don't know. Either way, I know that it affected me big time. And I dropped the phone between my legs, so hopefully that didn't show, because that would be super inappropriate.
Or this will get like 80,000 views.
Yeah, sure. Anyway, I've learned my lesson, and right now I'm saying I'll never drink again. But I'm sure that's not the case. I'm sure what I really mean is I'll be a lot more modest with my drinking. And again, it's not, I personally feel like I didn't have a lot, but I need to, kind of like how my husband does. Like, you'll have a very small amount multiple times, as opposed to, oh, I'll just do a fourth of the glass of vodka and then the rest, juice. Like, that's probably not the best idea, at least for me. So, I've definitely learned my lesson, and I will probably drink again. I actually hate drinking just because I've never been a big drinker. Like I don't like it. I like the effects of it, of course, but just never been a big drinker. I much prefer having an edible, but that's not really an option right now, seeing as though we're trying to seek employment and we just, want to be clean. So I'm limited to having a drink, which there's absolutely nothing wrong with, but because it's vodka, I have to be mindful in how I consume it. It's much different than just having a glass of wine or having a wine cooler or something. So I have definitely learned my lesson. So I went from, well, he says 10 is death, but we always do, like, if someone's not feeling well, it's always on a scale from 1 to 10. 1 is like, oh, I'm fine, and 10 is like, call 911 right now. I was borderline call 911 right now. At least that's how it felt. And maybe I was being dramatic, but that's literally how it felt for me. I was probably about a 9.5, honestly. But now I'm like down to like a 4. So that's good. That's like, oh, I feel it, but